Guys, and welcome back to iPunt Smart preview for Fairview Polytrack. Today, already done the bipot, the PA, the Big Six jackpot 1 and 2 here, and of course, going is standard condition, 14 kilometers wind and 11 millimeters of rain in the last 7 days, but it's the Polytrack, so no issues there. We start off in the first with first choice Clover Club. No value on Clover Club, to be quite honest with you, and a bit of a worry with Flying Thunder here, stable change, and Lyle Hewitson taking the ride, but Sharon Kotson looks due to win this race, and the adjusted time figures, speed rating figures, as well as the bat figures, you can see is all better for Clover Club. You can see that it's more green, highlighted in green. The more highlighted in green, the better it is. And therefore, Clover Club, first choice, Flying Thunder, second choice. And Gavin Smith's got 3 runners in this field out of the 5, which is a bit of a concern. So Global Cass is my top rated of these ones, the one with the adjusted time. Tongue tie now being fitted and taking on the extra 600 meters. Marco van Rensburg takes the ride again, and he did have the best bat figures on previously with Billy Ann, the next best, and Symbolize, the 5th choice. We definitely catch the quartet in this race. There's only 5 runners, and we have all 5 picked. Nothing really lacking in this race. In the second, we go to our first greenie for the day, Forward March. Now, Janssen van Vieren has only got 2 for the day, and Chase Majan has taken the ride. You can see the bat figures is quite a bit better, 9 lengths better than Sunshine Beach, as well as Cut Glass. But Sunshine Beach and Cut Glass should be the biggest contenders to try and take on Forward March, but Forward March is a worthy favorite nonetheless. Nice value on Cut Glass at 11 to 1 currently. The blinkers didn't work all that well the last time over the 1200 meters, and the blinkers is now being removed, and Jacobs is taking 4 kilos off its back as well. It is the second run for the new stable since it's come from Bass Robinson on the previous occasion on the 10th of November. Sorry, it's the third run for the new stable. And the 1600 Fairview Poly run was very good, and also good support, 2.15 to 1.3. And the last 1200 was a bit too short. That's why they put the blinkers on. The blinkers didn't work. The blinkers goes off, but was support 1.5 to 2.2. So not a bad third choice in this race. A bit of value in this race, but yeah, Forward March, Sunshine Beach, and Cut Glass. I think that should be where your winner is coming from. In the third race, here I have gone with Super Noir as my first choice. Quite superior on the bat 42, 84, and 168 form here. Greenie points also the highest. Jock Stradom and K Stradom. Those are family connections. The tongue tie is being fitted here, and the 1600 was a little bit too far. As we can see, the 12.44 bat prior to that, the 1200 Fairview Poly worked pretty nicely with 0 bat. So Super Noir the first choice, Untamed Tiger the second choice, 9.49 on the blue bats, bit of consistency, 24243 here. So that'll be my second choice. Cold Fusion, Janssen van Vieren could be on a double here. It was a decent 6.9 bat on the previous attempt at the 1200 Ball Classic, so the 1400 maybe could suit, and that does mean that we could have a double on Janssen van Vieren here. But for place prospect, I think Super Noir is a bit better on the place prospects. And let me just move that over, and I have taken some places on Super Noir in this race as well. And then the fourth choice is an interesting runner here, Mouse on Over, Sharon Kotson, stable change, Makotwa, 5.17 on the BAT 84 and 168 form does mean that it should be quite capable of competing here, um, taking on the Gravel Poly today, and the Gravel Poly, the Gravel Poly on the 23rd of September, 1200 was not a bad little run, 16.59. So taking on the Fairview Poly today, and a bit of a value bet at 11 to 1. So those are my four choices: 4 Super Noir, 1 Untamed Tiger, 5 Cold Fusion, and 6 Mouse on Over in the pick 6. The bigger perm: 7, 10, 2, and 9. Big in Texas, Clear the Way, could be due for anything of improvement on only second run, taking on the 1400 meters now. Kendall Mini was birthday last week, got some birthday presents from Alan Greef by getting a winner, and now has 3 runs today for Greef. And this could be one that is actually better when we consider that at 1400 meters we don't know what's going to happen. Pure quality, the number 2 is the 7th rated, and then coming home, Lyle Hewitson takes the ride. Also another stable change back from a rest. Didn't get any support on the 2 debut runs. Bats weren't all that great, so who knows? Stable change to Fairview Poly. Anything is possible. So I think 4, 1, 5, and 6 is enough for the pick 6, but 7, 10, 2, and 9 is my backup. In the 5th, Jagger Moon is the top rated, and does look extremely well with the 3 wins in a row. Biggest concern for me here is King Capone, and they've met each other on the 4th of December. First for Jagger Moon, third for King Capone. On that day, 61.5 kilos for King Capone and 58 kilos for Jagger Moon. Jagger Moon gets 2 less today, but King Capone gets 7 less today. So that's a 5 kilogram swing, and there was only 1.7 lengths, 1.75 lengths into the equation, which means 5 kilos less today for a 1.75 lengths change, 1.75 lengths on the 5 kilos. I think King Capone is a nice backup for Jagger Moon. 6 and 5, my first 2 choices in the bipod, as well as the PA. Small pick 6 as well. This small pick 6 is very small, about 4,000 bucks today. 1% would only work out to 40 rand. And then the bigger perm 2, 3, 1, and 8, which is Onesie, the only Shannon Devoy ride for the day. And Onesie does run well for Shannon Devoy, won on its last attempt, second and third year as well. That's not competitive enough against Jagger Moon and King Capone though. Lord Marshall, the 4th choice, with Lyle Hewitson taking the ride, now going 1400 meters. Could be anything on the extra 300 meters, but I don't think that Jagger Moon and King Capone is going to be beaten in this race, to be quite honest with you. And then after Lord Marshall, Aranjuez, Tara Lang, and Chase Majan, and the 6th choice Mirage, 22 to 1. The bats are not all that great, but is second on T-curve. Moving on to the 5th race, and a bit of an interesting run here for me. I think it's anything can win in this race. It's very open. Interesting that Sharon Kotson is getting Lyle Hewitson to ride on Run Florist Run. And that was a decent 8.61 on the bat, second best in the field. So Run Florist Run will be my first choice here from Lyle Hewitson on board now, the change. And you can see Luke Mokotwa was on board previously. My second choice is another interesting runner. What a thrill at 10 to 1. So we're looking at a 10 to 1 first and a 10 to 1 second choice. And that's purely on the 1300 Fairview Poly run that it had a 0.1 bat. If you take it back to the 2000 Gravel Poly, there was a third, and another 2000 Gravel Poly, a second. Pretty decent, and they've been expecting a bit from this horse, because you can see Marcus, Kennedy, Marcus. and now they're bringing it to Fairview Poly. So at 10-1, I think what a thrill. It's not a bad little nibble, I would only say. Nibble on maybe on that, but the P-Stats doesn't support it that great. 33% on greeny points to win, and 33% on form stat, form and intent, and total T curve, as well as bomb 168, bomb C, bat 42, and bat 84. The 67% is going with Princess of Fire, another 10-1. On the bat curve here, 67%, and on exotic ranking, 67%. So Julius Mapanya's only got 2 rides for the day, and one of them is Princess of Fire. Princess of Fire only got the 52 Ks on the back. The bat figures are pretty darn good for this 2000 meters, and it did win its previous and only attempt on the 2000 Fairview Poly. With Lyle Hewitson on board, was also supported from 18 to 5.5, got the blue bat best in the field. That's why the 10.08 is here. The bat CD is the blue bat, the exact course and exact distance bat. So definitely not going to leave this one out of my equation as well. So I've got a 10-1 in second, and at third, first, second, and third rated is 10-1, 8, 6, and 9. Then my fourth rated is Colorado Springs, the actual favorite. And then my fifth rated is Overcount on John Nell with Bester, 100% adjusted time and speed rating. You can see it's also the second best on the bat 42 on the green bat. So that's second here because that's a red bat. So Princess of Fire the best, Overcount the second best on the green bats. Overcount at 14-1. And then for sixth place, Kana, Marco van Rensburg, best super rule percentage, 13.74, only a length behind Overcount on the bat. And then for seventh, Crystal Stream, the other John Nell runner with Teague Gould on board, coming from a bit of a rest, but the bats aren't as good as Overcount's bats. And then the eighth choice is Wiley's Flame, the next best on the green bats, and then Mary Moon, 3.5 odds, and then close to my heart, and Miss Tibbs at 33-1, with Jacobs taking the claimer of 4 kilos. So this race I've actually gone with field in my pick 6, and I've gone with 6 horses in my bipot, 8, 6, 9, 1, 7, and 10. Moving along swiftly, maybe the top 3 is worth a little bit of a nibble at 10-1, 10-1, and 10-1. 6th race, and here I quite like Joyful Noise. My biggest concern is the fact that Alan Greef has got 5 horses entered into this race, and Gavin Smith has only got the 1. But Joyful Noise does look good, 14 points on the greeny points, pretty decent. Highest percentage as well, 36% to win on greeny points. Sorry, no. Scented Garden is 43% on stat, form, and on intent. And let's see, to place its chances is 60, 60, 60, 60. Pretty decent. 75 on the blue bat. 75% chance for a top 3 on Joyful Noise at 10-11. On Skybet, not bad, 75% chance for a 10-11 place prospect. Joyful Noise, the first choice here. My second choice, since it's a Alan Greef benefit race here, I always think that Greef could be up to something. And if I look at the up to something, the next best here is Brandina on a 6.45, bat 42, and the highest speed rating. And a 1 draw, and T Gould riding, so Brandina at 10-1 is my second choice. Mendocino, my third choice, another Greef runner, this time with Lyle Hewitson on board and coming from a rest with the highest super rule percentage. So another one that, could be a little bit better coming back. Lyle Hewitson did ride it the previous time for a second, 11.08, its best blue bat figure. So that's not as good as Joyful Noise. As you can see, the 2.5 on its last run. But that being said, this could be a race full of tricks here with all these Alan Greff runners in here, and maybe Gavin Smith is not even allowed to run a place here because Greff wants the quartet. It has been arranged before. Montreal Mist, the fifth choice after the favourite for Greff and Shane, Scented Garden as my fourth choice. Montreal Mist as my fifth choice, Twin Falls as my sixth choice, and I'm hoping Joyful Noise will just run a place for me. That's pretty much all I want because I have banked it in my smaller PA. And the reason for that is because we might also be looking at a Gavin Smith Marco van Rensburg double because we have Joyful Noise followed by Intrepid Traveller with Gavin Smith aboard again, and again these bat figures 1.55 is really good. Best blue bat figures as well. Best form 75% chance to place, 70 on greenie, 60 on overall ranking. So Intrepid Traveller makes it as a greenie and a first choice in the seventh race, with the second choice Eternal Hope, Alan Greff and Greg Shane, the favourite at 2.25, best exact distance, stat form and intent. And I think 2 and 1 is enough for your PA. Then my third choice is Bushy Park at 12 to 1, Teak Gould and Duncan McKenzie. And my fourth choice is Cinderella Beautiful, Chase Majan and Grand Parrot. They also just have the 3 runners for the day, and that's the second highest at 42 in the greens, 8.86. But Intrepid Traveller, after the 2.5 claim, does look pretty decent to be competitive, if allowed to be competitive. Maybe Intrepid Traveller is also a PA banker. And in the last, the lucky last, our rankings also looks a bit weird on this race. We start off with the top rated Bold Dreamer here. Now tongue tie being removed. Greenie Point the highest, the percentage is 26%, 21% on Greenie Points. And interesting runner in second place as well. Both of these at 41% chance to win for a win, top rated to finish first. On form is 41% on Bold Dreamer, and Lotus King has a 41% on speed rating to win, and that's after 28 previous P-Stat occurrences, where we had the Fairview Poly distance 1300 meters class D rated. We've done 28 of these races. So Bold Dreamer first choice, Lotus King second choice, 6.5 to 1 and 12 to 1. My 2 roughies in this race that I think can't be overlooked is For Luck's Sake, the other Cactus runner with Javier Jacobs taking a 4 kilos off the claim, and that makes him quite competitive. Good adjusted time figure here, 1 draw, 30 to 1, and some good bat figures here. If you take Bold Dreamer out of the equation, then he's right in there on the bat figures. Yeah, he's 3.25 to 1 on Betfair Paddy Power for a place top 4. And then the other one that could maybe be hedged with him for a place top 4 is Goodbye Love, currently trading at 50 to 1 and 4.33 for a top 4. Interesting little runner here as well. Now taking the 1300, what appeals to me here is it's one on the Fairview Poly over the 1100 with Luke Mokotwa on board, and it's taken them a while. There was some support 2.8 into 1.6 at that time. After it won the maiden, it then was still liked, 2.8, backed in from 7 into 2.8 in the market over the 1000 Fairview Poly, and didn't do nothing, and then went on a little break, started at 8 to 1, backed into 4.5, again ran nothing, and then on the next ride, just to make sure that it's absolutely useless, started at 11 to 1, finished at 12 to 1, again 11 lengths behind the winner, again nothing, And now today we have blinkers fitted and tongue tie fitted. So Goodbye Love is now at 50 to 1. And I'm not going to be too surprised if Goodbye Love just pops up here as the third T curve runner here. If you look at these previous runs where there was some support in the market here, a 2.4 bat figure and an 8.4 bat figure. Now both of these is really very well into it, except for Bold Dreamer. It has these really decent bat figures here as well. So Goodbye Love, bit of a value for me. Bold Dreamer still my first choice, and the tongue tie is also being removed from Bold Dreamer, so it's only Alamites and blinkers. You can see that tongue tie was on the last 1,000 meters, drifted from 6.5 to 13, and it did a 3.26 bat. The 1200 Fairview Poly, only 100 meters less than today. The tongue tie was removed, and Sandile Kati also took the ride, and it ran a very good 3.4 on the bat figure, which would be a green bat at 3.4, which is still way better than the best green bat for any other runner in this race. So Bold Dreamer, justifiably so, my first choice. Lotus King, my second choice. And you can see why it's won its last blue bat 1300 Fairview Poly, 9.57, a good blue bat. That's why it's circled here as the best in the field on the 1300 meters, and it has been improving. It also got some support, and it actually won 1300 from a 13 draw, which is very respectable. And because it's a 41% chance to win on speed rating, yeah. So Lotus King is my second choice. My third choice is Linda Loves Lace, and it also looks pretty decent on these bat figures. Fourth choice is For Luck's Sake at 30 to 1 with the 50 kilos on its back today. My fifth choice is the 50 to 1 Goodbye Love that we just spoke about. And then the favorite comes in at sixth choice, Salai. Nothing remarkable for me so far, 15.67 bats. Best Super Rule percentage, yes. And it's changing the stable to Joannell, Greg Shane taking the ride. So interesting, but not for me worthwhile at 3.35. So I've gone 9, 1, 12, 8, and 4 in my PA, which is Bold Dreamer, Lotus King, For Luck's Sake, Goodbye Love, and Salai. And then in the jackpot pick 6, I have also added, I've got 9, 1, 12, 8, 4, and also 3 and 7. Linda Loves Lace, and Montana Turner and Dylan Lorena. Only 2 for them for today at 50 to 1 shot here. This Mount Everest is also another interesting runner. Last time Dylan Lorena got on board 1600 Fairview Poly, it ran first and it was supported by a third, a fourth, a fifth, and a second. So nothing to suggest that it couldn't just also pop up again today. The bat figures is not supportive, to be quite honest with you, but there was improvement from 35 into 22 lengths, and with that kind of 12 lengths improvement over today again, it will all of a sudden pop into the quartet again. So that is another little bit of an outsider. So what do we have here? This is our pick 6. 4 by 2 is 8, by 11 is 88, by 4 that's about 360, by 2 is 720, by 2467. So under 5,000 Rand for the small pick 6 today with all those roughies in there. Could even be a good payout. That's it for us, guys. Until tomorrow. Have a great day.